Today we're talking everything nutrition and delighted to welcome Sumi Baruah, Chief Executive of Culinary Medicine and also a practicing GP in London, and the always supportive, always impeccable Phil Shelley, who leads everything food and sustainability at NHS England. Guys, thank you for joining us. Let's kick off. We all know the incredible cost associated with not treating patients properly from a nutritional point of view in hospitals and what that costs the NHS and will do in the future. We know it improves recovery of patients. We know it therefore improves flow. We know therefore it has an impact on finances. But are we really making progress, do you think, Phil? Or are hospitals restricted by the cost envelope they have to work in?
There are naturally ongoing pressures that we see and we hear about. But the last few years particularly, I've seen a real change. People are being more dynamic, they're being braver, they're innovating, and you see that either through menu design, the working relationship that we now see, when we called it the power of three, but that clinician, the dietitian and caterer, that now is there as a strong base. And the successful hospitals are the ones that have that, and the leadership at board level. The ones that we go in and help regularly are the ones that are just struggling to understand what they need to do, particularly around patient acuity. So it's understanding, when patients come in, the style of patient, the type of patient, what do they need, ensuring that things like menu and education and support is there in the right way.
We spoke earlier, didn't we, about the three-way partnership between the nursing team, the catering team and the dietetics team in hospitals. Do you feel there is a challenge in some hospitals around the dietetics workforce that therefore impacts on patient food and staff food?
There are gaps, and I think sometimes dietitians are employed rightly so for a clinical reason, but for us, we are trying to put food at the centre of the agenda. It plays such an important part in the patient pathway. So we need dietitians that have got the food experience and the expertise, and of course the passion, to actually make a difference. And that will take time, but we can see it's moving in the right direction. Lots of conversations take place every week, so we can really feel that trusts are trying to make that change.
Good. And Sumi, we're starting to see as a supplier of food services into NHS clients, we're starting to probably see a little bit of a shift towards away from some fresh cook to other alternatives to quality regenerated food. Presumably you concur and you can confirm that there is no nutritional disadvantage in the way food is produced, fresh cooked versus fresh and then frozen.
No, absolutely not. So particularly with culinary medicine, we're very much about promoting the message about sustainable, affordable nutrition for all. So even in the community, when we're guiding our patients, there's nothing wrong with using tin products, frozen products. It's got the same nutritional value, and it's a really important part of translating that message. So that's certainly aligned with the teaching that we give to our health professionals to then impart that to their patients. Absolutely. And I think it's good to see that there's that synchronicity happening now.
Yeah. And you presumably see a mix across the NHS.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing chef skills that are being highlighted, but we're also seeing products that are coming into the market that are lifting the quality. So the style of service really is not the important part. It's actually ensuring that we purchase correctly and we're looking for a quality product, so it is full of nutrition. And that's what the aim is.
Yeah. And we're seeing that some hospital clients need that space back for clinical space.
Yeah, absolutely.
We know how short the guys are in terms of clinical space.
In NHS England, we love what you guys are doing. You can see that the relationship is really strong. I suppose it's trying to understand what is Sodexo's kind of view and role in this partnership to ensure that we're driving things through positively. What's that first message that you're taking?
I think we've taken the very clear decision at Sodexo strategically that we need to go beyond the traditional food and FM service. That's a hygiene factor now, that we deliver quality food and FM services. But we've been looking at ways to go beyond that to help hospitals and the broader health and care, actually. And Culinary Medicine Partnership is one example of how we're doing that. So not only can we deliver great quality food to patients and staff, we can educate them now through our colleagues at Culinary Medicine, who with a kind of a clinician's GP hat on, as well as food expert hats, they're able to educate on the importance of nutrition and help clinicians have those conversations. But it goes other examples within Sodexo. So we've rolled out at some hospitals the ability for patients to eat when they want rather than at standard meal times. And the impact has been incredible. The stats show that at standard meal times, about 26%, I think, of patients ate all or most of their meals. When we served it when they wanted it, 78% ate all or nearly all of their meals. Incredible difference. So, if we're trying to go that little bit further and find ways to add value that is important to hospitals, to me.
Yeah, and I think that really speaks to the concept with nutrition, not one size fits all.
Yeah.
And I think being able to adjust meal times, fitting with people's cultural preferences and dietary needs, it's so crucial. So speaking to the area of culinary medicine, we're delighted that Sodexo is supporting the scale and impact that culinary medicine training can have. I mean, just as a really important statistic, there was a research paper published in BMJ Nutrition led by Elaine McIninch, that's our nutrition education lead, that 70% of medical students and doctors receive less than 2 hours of nutrition training, and that's in a 5-year degree course.
Wow.
So you can imagine that when they're on the wards or they're working as junior doctors or then as specialists, they really don't have that confidence, yet it's such an important part of health. Be it from when people preventing them from going into hospital in the first place to their experiences in the hospital. So culinary medicine has gone some way to bridge that gap and provide that turnkey solution to the gap in nutrition training. So, we've reached over 7,000 health professionals so far through our work in medical schools and with our online course. And it's fantastic to see that Sodexo is embracing that sort of and helping us bridge that gap and recognising that actually we all need to work together. So, as Phil said, culinary medicine really mirrors that multi-professional working. So working with the hospitality professional, the chefs who are creating the recipes, but making sure they're dietetically informed recipes and thinking about clinical care as well. They all go hand in hand, and I think you can't work in silo. I think we have to work collaboratively together. So it almost is a very natural move for Sodexo and FM to move into this space because it's a natural connection.
And we're not going to limit this to Sodexo clients. Hospitals that currently deliver their food in-house, they can still come to Sodexo and Culinary Medicine and receive this education. We're not restricting it to Sodexo's clients.
Yeah.
I mean, they are two enormous steps where it's breaking the mould, where we have seen that decline in training, haven't we? So taking that step to say, we think this can be done differently, and breaking that institutionalised setting of meal timings is enormous. We have to stop thinking about the work schedule of a ward level is dictating the meal time. We should be putting the patient first and really asking them, when do you normally eat your main meal? When do you normally have your snacks? And then that breaks the mould of that institution, and we can start thinking about, how can we help patients, particularly the elderly, to graze, because that's what they often like to do.
Yes.
It's enormous change. It's really exemplary, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
But it's not easy. It's not practical
No,
on some wards for some patients. It's challenging, but we have to be brave, I guess, in these steps.
I'm sure years to come this will be the natural way of working, but somebody has to start first and be the leader in it. So I think this is a good move forward. But as you're saying, just talking about the food waste aspect, the fact that there's such a reduction in food waste, that's a huge part of what you're doing, isn't it, Phil? So
very much so. And it's highlighting something, it's putting it on the agenda and people recognising. And of course, what they're doing, there's always a benefit we would hope from every change. The savings that will come from that, it's important that they get put back into the service to help fund changes that need to happen. But it's exciting times.
We have WasteWatch by LeanPath in all of our kitchens now. It's mandated wherever Sodexo deploy, and just the acknowledgement that every bit of waste is being measured has reduced waste dramatically. It's simple stuff, but it's made a massive difference to our net zero.
That visual,
program.
isn't it?
Visually
seeing how much waste, and as you say, weighing it, and understanding, is it plate waste, is it unserved waste, all those. So people that really never thought about it are now all thinking about it together.
Thank you very much. Always interesting to talk to you both. Sumi, we're really looking forward to this partnership, see where it will go.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Moving into the secondary care space and helping our clients and beyond Sodexo's clients. Phil, always a pleasure. Thank you for your support, not just for the NHS but for Sodexo as well, and what you do to help us. We appreciate that.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you.